Over the course of Black Ops 4's lifespan so far, we've seen the Blackout map updated a handful of times, adding in places like Hijacked and, most recently, Ghost Town, alongside various other extensions and touch-ups being added in along the way. And thanks to the Grand Heist roadmap that Treyarch provided alongside the 1.13 updates, we actually know the Blackout map is scheduled for a spring update here in the near future. And some of the content within that spring update may have actually already been teased, and today we're breaking it all down. What's up guys, Zach or Immortal here, welcome back to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today we're jumping back into the world of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 to take a look at everything that we know about the Blackout Spring Update. Before we do jump into all of that though, if you guys are new here to the channel, YouTube says about 60% of the people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So if you do like what you see, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it is much appreciated. Now let's jump into the Spring Update. According to the Grand Heist roadmap, throughout Operation Grand Heist, Blackout is going to be receiving a spring map update, a new hardcore mode, new equipment, a new event, and various new limited time modes. Outside of these new LTMs, we actually have a pretty good idea about what we can expect to see in all of those other aforementioned updates. Let's start with the spring map update because this is probably the one thing that everyone is really curious about. Although, to be honest, out of everything that we're talking about today, my primary interest actually lies in the new Blackout event, and of course, we'll be covering that here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, the spring map update for Blackout, what all do we know? Well, for one, since it is dubbed the spring update, I'm leaning towards the overall color tone of the map shifting to a more vibrant, lively green hue compared to the more wintry theme that we've still kinda got going on right now. Of course, we've seen the trees and the general map aesthetic shift to a more fall color tone in the past, with orange and yellow leaves covering the trees, and with the Absolute Zero update, we had holiday-themed items pop up all over the map as well. So with that, come spring, I would expect to see the map turn to a more lush setting to fit in more with the overall spring aesthetic. And of course, on top of that, we're probably going to be getting some new map updates in the form of new locations, and one location in specific I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about. Back in the Operation Grand Heist trailer, there was a very brief teaser at the very end of the trailer, which revealed players dropping into what appears to be the Mob of the Dead Zombies map, which of course takes place on the infamous Alcatraz Island. Obviously, since Alcatraz Island is, well, an island, I know my deductions are very incredible, that means that it has to be located in the water, which lines up very well with the idea proposed a little while back when the Blueprint map teaser was released for Blackout, showing a little coffee stain in the ocean just off the coast near construction. Myself and a lot of other people in the community, quite honestly, thought this peculiar ring was definitely something more than just your average coffee stain. And with the teaser at the end of the Grand Heist trailer pointing towards Alcatraz and the Mob of the Dead map coming to the Blackout map, it seems only reasonable that the island would be placed within the boundaries marked by that coffee stain. Now, outside of Alcatraz and the Mob of the Dead map coming to Blackout alongside a spring aesthetic revamp, the other map updates still do remain a mystery, although I am pretty sure we'll continue to see more touch-ups and extensions added onto the map as time goes by. And I think it would be really cool if we saw the construction building eventually start to become more complete and in the end turn into an actual skyscraper, but hey, I digress. Moving on to the hardcore mode coming to Blackout within Operation Grand Heist, we're not 100% sure when this mode is going to be debuted. I mean, it could come before the spring map update is introduced to the game, it could come with the spring map update, or it could even come after. That we're not so sure about, but just taking the idea of a hardcore mode in Blackout and theorizing about it, this game mode will likely feature reduced awareness, meaning you probably won't be able to see the minimap, or at the very least, the circle zones, and I could also see health or armor being reduced, if not even completely removed. Hardcore, of course, in multiplayer means reduced health, so I could totally see that transferring over to the hardcore mode for Blackout, or if that's not the case, the removal of armor certainly brings a more hardcore aesthetic into the game as well. It is also quite possible that your teammates will be hidden on the HUD and in-game via nameplates, just like in hardcore in multiplayer, making it so that you're not always certain if the person you're looking at is a teammate or an enemy. And piggybacking off of that, friendly fire, I assume, would also be enabled in a hardcore mode, adding for a heightened degree of awareness required at all times. Now, shifting focus to new equipment, this one I think is pretty straightforward. I believe what's being referenced here at the very minimum is the addition of Zero's EMP Disruptor Grenade being added into the game, as in the past, David Vonderhaar has actually talked about adding it into Blackout, saying, quote, "I do think the EMP could be an interesting addition to Blackout. It's on the schedule, but a bit downstream and lower priority than some other things." End quote. Now, on top of that, there very well could be some other pieces of equipment planned for the future as well, but like I said, at the very least, I do anticipate sometime soon we'll be seeing the EMP Disruptor Grenade added into the loot pool on the Blackout map. And now we come to what really has me excited, and that is the brand new Blackout event, which, according to the roadmap, is specified as Redacted, aka Top Secret Intel. However, I think this new Blackout event actually ties in pretty well with the addition of the Alcatraz Island and thus the Mob of the Dead map, because during that same little teaser that I referenced earlier showing players dropping into Mob of the Dead, you can see that nightfall has taken over the Blackout map. The sky is dark and free of sunlight, and there is a just very eerie aesthetic tied into this whole teaser, which is why I believe that this Blackout event is going to be some sort of way to allow players to play Blackout, but at night. And you know what that means? That means concussion spam, but at night, and constant ATV boys trying to run you over at night.
At night.
In all seriousness though, I think Blackout at night would be absolutely incredible. It obviously would be a lot more intense than regular old daytime Blackout, as players could easily blend into the shadows and the darkness and become much harder to spot, and things like muzzle flash and weapon fire could actually be a lot more revealing compared to now, where weapon fire really only reveals your location via sound. To sum that up, this Redacted Blackout event, I believe, is going to be the transformation of day to night on the Blackout map, which I personally am very, very excited for. A night mode in Blackout would of course open the door of opportunity for things like thermal sights to be added in, which just adds even more of a cool aesthetic into the entire environment, and in general, I think a night version of Blackout is going to have a lot of people, like myself, very, very intrigued. Now, after all of this, you might be wondering, when is all of this going to happen? Well, short answer, we're not sure yet. No official release date has been set as of right now, but since the new map update is labeled as the Spring Map Update, I would assume it's probably going to go live sometime within a few weeks of the spring season in real life, if not right alongside the start of the spring season. We do have the new Shamrock and Awe event coming up here in just a few weeks, and that should be launching right around St. Patrick's Day on Sunday, March 17th. I would assume that alongside the Shamrock and Awe update, we'll see our next major title update, patch 1.14, make its way into the game as well, and spring just so happens to be starting on Wednesday, March 20th, right around the same time that Shamrock and Awe should be going live. I've concluded that Shamrock and Awe will most likely be going live around the 12th to the 15th, or if not then the following week on the 19th, which obviously conveniently falls right next to the spring season starting up. So if I had to guess, I would say that the spring map update is probably coming the week of the 18th, if not then very shortly thereafter. This of course means a lot of exciting content will be coming to Black Ops 4 in a very short period of time, and Treyarch did say that they had constant updates planned for the entirety of Operation Grand Heist, so I think my reasoning here is somewhat backed up by that. As with all of the information, dates, and conclusions that we discussed in today's video though, definitely take it all with a grain of salt. This is simply me speculating and inferring various things based on outside information that all sort of ties into the grand plot scheme here, if you will. So with that, I could very well be wrong with some of the things that I brought up today, but at the same time, I could also be right. Personally, I would prefer the latter, but, well, only time will tell there. With that said, though, that does effectively wrap things up for today. To sum everything up real quick, a lot of stuff is going to be going down in Blackout within the upcoming weeks and months. Of course, multiplayer and zombies are going to have some exciting stuff happening there as well, but Blackout specifically has a lot of my attention right now thanks to what all is previewed in the Grand Heist roadmap. That being the new spring map update, which will likely include some new locations being added to the map, a new hardcore mode, new equipment, and of course the new Blackout event, which I personally think is going to bring Nightfall to the Blackout map and seriously spice things up. That does conclude things for today though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, or if you're just excited for all this new stuff coming to Blackout, be sure to give the video a big old thumbs up and slap that like button, as it does really help out the channel and I greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you are brand new here to the channel and you want to stay up to date with everything Black Ops 4 related, ranging from news to leaks to intel and updates and everything in between, make sure you go ahead and subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll never miss another upload. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.